Hello, hello, everybody. Good evening, everyone. How are you all doing this evening? It's 9 p.m. on a Tuesday. Welcome to Sports Tuesday, supporting parents of tweens and teens. And I can't wait, really, to speak on this topic. I can't wait. I'm just so excited about this topic. Understanding your tween and teen boys. Yes, the mysteries of our tween and teen boys. I can't wait to share that with you. I'm looking forward to it, actually. Hi, Rachel. How are you doing? Hi, Joy, as well. Thank you guys for joining. Thank you guys for joining. Also, if you can share with us the ages of your sons, that would be great, and then I can, kind of talk around those ages as well. That would be so great. So share with us the ages of your son. Oh, and I forgot to put my sports group thing, but I'll do that later. Okay, good. Welcome, everyone. I'll just give Facebook a couple of minutes to let people know, and then we will get started. Understanding your tween and teen boys, especially in this day and age, is so vital. If you don't understand them, you will get you would have so many questions. You're not being able to answer so many questions and get worried for no reason. So understanding your twin and teen boys are very important. I mean, understanding your children are very important, but today we are focusing on the boys. We're focusing on the boys today, understanding your twin and teen boys. They're growing up. They're going to start acting slightly funnier than normal. Maybe not even talking a lot more. Different kind of things that they will be doing at this point. So rather than panic about it, understand it, get to know what these stages are all about. And to be honest, when you get to know what these stages are all about, it's actually an easier process. I hear a few people say, "Oh, I'm dreading the teen years," but it's not a period to dread at all. If you can understand them, you will get it, and if you can understand them, you will go with them, and you will actually grow with them. That's the word. You'd actually grow with them as they're growing into the men that they're going to be. So I am excited to share a few nuggets with you guys today. So I'll give Facebook another minute or so, and then we'll get going. Thank you so much, Stephanie. Thank you so much for joining as well. How are you all doing? I hope you guys I trust you guys had a lovely day. I started the day by saying it's going to be amazing, and it was amazing. Of course, we had few challenges here and there, but in all, we're good. We're alive. We're here. So it was an amazing day. It was an amazing day. Thank you so much, guys. What I'm going to do now is sorry, I just want to share this video while we're here. And then we'll get going. But yeah, if you have teen boys or twin boys, let's know how old they are. And so that we can all kind of talk on the same let's know how old they are. If you can share in the comment box how old your twin or your teen boys are, and then we will get started. Okay? We'll get started. I'm just going to share this now because from what I remember, I thought I was actually going to do this on my other page, on my other group. But I've decided to stay here and do it, and then I'll share it with other people. How are you doing, T? Good evening. How are you? Fantastic. Okay, I've shared that with them. Hi, how are you? And hi, Bukola as well. How are you doing? Fantastic. I'm excited about today's topic, as I've said. I am very excited about today's topic. Sorry, I'm just sharing the video very quickly, and then we will just get started. Yes, we will get started. Fantastic. And just one more. Good. That's it. So parents, guys, here is the thing. Our teen boys. Yes, I'm good. Thank you. Thank you so much, T. Thank you so much. And thank you, Chola, as well for joining. Tonight, I'm going to be sharing just a few insights, or let me just say a few nuggets, really, on what we need to do as parents to understand our children better. Priscilla, how you doing? I owe you a reply. Yeah, okay. I'll come back to you after the video. I want us to just talk about just a few insights and a few nuggets, really, on how to understand your teen or your twin boys better. teens, or when I say tween and teens, I'm going to just say it as our boys. How are you, Shola? Good, good, good. Let's get started so that when people join us, then they can actually catch up with us. But how are you guys? And thank you so much, guys, for joining. Hi, Ify, as well. Thank you so much for joining. Understanding our tween and teen boys is very, very important, because as we grow, and not, I won't say as we grow, as they grow, there are lots of changes going on in their lives. Lots of changes that even as parents, we can't really understand or even relate to, because we grew up at a different time. We grew up in a different time. So a lot of the things that they're going through today, yes, okay, we may have gone through them when we were kids, when we were teens, but they're slightly different because the environment is different. The way people communicate is different. The way people relate with each other is different. The access that they have access to, the things that they have access to, they're very, very different from when we were growing up. So it takes a whole lot of just a different mindset, really, to be able to understand our teen boys better. And it's important that as parents that we do understand them better, because if you don't get to understand them better, then you live a very stressful life. You live a life of burning questions, not having the answers to these questions, frustrated that, oh, why are they doing this? Why are they reacting this way? Why can't they listen? Why can't they talk? Why can't they do this? Why can't they do that? You just walk yourself up to a high blood pressure, to some kind of high blood pressure, because you don't understand them. So it's important that understanding them is key, for you to be able to eliminate all those worries. Yes, puberty and adolescence, it's a big, big thing. And as I said, it's slightly different from when we were growing up. Of course, there's going to be a lot of similarities, but it's a whole different game now. It's a whole different environment now. So we've got to make sure that we understand. As parents, we can't say that we're the adults, so we know everything. No, as your teen is growing, you are also growing as well. I always say that we actually grow together with our teens, because yes, when they were kids, when they were younger, yes, you knew about what to do with a 5-year-old. You knew what to do with a 6-year-old. You knew what to do with a 7 and 8-year-old. Now they're getting to the tweens, 10, 11-year-olds now are even acting much older than they actually are. So you've got to actually grow with them to be able to understand and also change, as well as your parenting style has to change. If you're going to be treating a teen boy the same way you were treating him when he was 8 and 7, you are going to lose yourself. You're even going to get more frustrated. So that's why you have to actually grow as they're growing. Teen boys are actually cool, I'll be honest with you. I have a 17-year-old and a 14-year-old and an older one who's already 22, but teen boys, they're actually cool if you get to understand them. A lot of times parents complain, oh, they're not talking. They weren't really built to talk like us women, like we women. Women, we do talk a lot. We like to converse and have these long conversations going. Boys are certainly not like that. And it's important that you understand it. Hi, Jane. How are you doing? Good, good. Thank you for joining. Yes, Shola says we have to adjust our parenting style. Absolutely. If you don't adjust your parenting style and you stay stuck from when they were kids, they will leave you. You will be on your own right there, because they will just be going forward and you will be stuck trying to parent them as a little boy, and they're growing so fast. So it's better that we grow with them. So as I was saying, our teen boys you've got to understand them. Once you can understand them, then you can actually make those important adjustments and grow with them and actually have a stress-free journey with them. A lot of times parents are very frustrated in this age because they just think, these teenagers are not listening to me. Oh, you tell them over and over again, they don't listen. They're not doing this. They're not doing that. They're not helping out. They're not doing this. But yes, the teenagers may not be doing all that, but what are you doing? It's a two-way thing. It's a partnership. They're your children, yes, but it's actually a partnership. It's a partnership in a way of what are you doing and how are they responding? How are you communicating and how are they responding? How are you relating to them and how are they responding? It's a two-way thing. It's not just about what they're going to do for you as a parent. It's not just about what they're going to say to you as a parent. It works both ways. What are you telling them? Because they're just going to be reacting to what you're saying. They're going to be reacting to the way you treat them. So the first insight I just want to share with us, parents, and I think I'm seeing a lot of moms on watching. So yes, moms, especially for moms, we've got to, if we can understand our boys better, we will actually, it will be much easier for us and much stress free, really. So here's the thing. Number one, they are growing. They are changing from boys, or they're becoming men. So we're talking about boys to men. They are changing. That's one first nugget that we have to remember as parents. Our boys are changing. They are growing. They are maturing. They are noticing different changes in their body. Sometimes they may not even want to talk to you about it. Don't take that personal. As a mom, especially as a mom. Now with the dads, yes, they could talk about it to their dads, but there's a but there. They only talk about that to their dads if their dads have actually left their communication open with them. If that communication is not open with them, then they're going to learn more in school. They're going to find out more in school. They may not even ask them directly, but listen to what other people are saying, and they will adopt that. So the first nugget, or the first insight that every parent of a teen boy should remember is that they are growing. They are in between that, going from boys to men. A lot of changes are going on. Even their voices, even as their voices are changing, they are, there's a lot of insecurities going on as well that you don't even know. So sometimes when they become so moody, it's not about you. It's not about what you said. It's not about how you came at them. It's really their own little insecurities that they're dealing with. But if as a parent, if you can understand that they're going through things, those little insecurities, those questions that they're asking themselves about why is their body becoming this? Why are they, there are lots of questions that they're asking themselves. If parents can understand that, then the approach that you come to them with will be totally, totally different. Totally different. And we live in a day and age now where image is about image. Image is so much in their faces. So as they're growing from boys to men, they're very conscious of how they look. They're very conscious of how they present themselves. They're very conscious of how they look. They're very, very conscious of their bodies. So this is one thing that we should remember as parents, that when they react, it's not necessarily about you. When they react, it's something back to them. How are they feeling? How comfortable are they in growing? And these are the kind of little conversations that you can have with them as time permits and as you go along. Those are the kind of things that you can talk about. So number one is that they are becoming men. I think we need to wrap that round our heads, that they are becoming men. They're no more those babies that we carried and fed and all that stuff. They are no longer those babies. They're becoming men. So give them the space that they deserve. Because a lot of times you find that a lot of times they want to even go and have spaces on themselves. They want to go and be with themselves. They want to just spend time by themselves. Don't knock them down for that. Don't knock them down because they want to spend time by themselves. There's a lot of learning going on. There's a lot of things that they're going through right now. So give them that space. If you can give them that space, they will give you your time that you need. But it's when we keep going into their space, like, oh, what are you doing? Why are you not downstairs? When you keep going on and on at them, it actually makes them withdraw. So that's number one, is that they're growing from boys to men. Number 2 point that I have here is, think about your kids. Hi, Joyce. How are you? Good. First time of watching me. Thank you so much. Thank you. We'll chat more soon. Okay. Good. The number 2 nugget that I have for all of us as parents is that our boys, apart from the fact that they are growing and they are becoming men, there's no point. They don't talk a lot. And I think we know it as parents, but we're still surprised when they're not talking. We know that boys don't talk a lot because, of course, we've seen men don't talk a lot as well. But we're surprised when our teenage boys are not talking. We're like, oh, why are they not talking to me? Oh, they don't chat with me. Boys do not talk a lot. And the thing about communication with boys is, it's not about the length of time that you communicate with them. It's not about the length of time. It's about those little conversations you have with them every now and then. So even if you have a 5-minute conversation with them or 3 minutes conversation with them, that's already a conversation. Take that as something that, you know what, I'm a winner today. I've gotten 3 minutes worth of conversation from my son. I'm a winner. And you go about, you take pride in yourself and you move on. But when we start getting frustrated that, oh, he only spent 5 minutes with me. Oh, when you start complaining, they're just like, what is wrong with mom? What is wrong with... Dads will not complain about that. I know dads will not complain about that, but especially moms. any time that they spend with you, any time that they have a conversation with you, appreciate that time. 1 minute, 2 minutes, appreciate that time. You could have more time in the day, but they're not going to have it in big bursts like 20, 30 minutes and just chat, chat, chat. Boys are not girls. They don't do that. So if you are in a situation where you're wondering, why don't they talk? Why are they not chatting with you? Why have they changed? To be honest, don't take it personal. I think that's going to be the key ring here is do not take it personal. Yes, Oludayo, how are you doing? Yes, you're right. Yes, short talks. Short talks. And this leads me to the third nugget. They don't talk, okay, so first of all, they're growing into men. They don't talk a lot. And number 3, if you really want to get communication flowing with them, get interested in what they're interested in. Get interested. If your son is into football, get interested in that football. If he's into rugby, whatever sports they're into, because boys as well are very physical. They love physical activities. So whatever it is that they're into, get into it. Even though I don't even understand all the rules of rugby and stuff, I get to listen. I get to listen to them when they're talking about rugby. Oh, we did this. Oh, it's such a physical game. I'm like, oh, guys, you guys, please protect yourselves. Don't fall down. Oh, what of injuries? I'm there worrying about that. And they said, oh, mom, no, please, no, it's physical. We love this. They love it. They love that physical thing where they're using their strength. Hi, Deborah, how are you? Good. They love those physical things. So get interested in what they're doing. Oh, a score. We scored 18 to... I'm just giving these scores. I'm not sure what kind of score. Maybe 21-3 or something. And you're like, what? What, were the other team asleep? You just get into conversations with them. And you find out that really, in those topics that they're so interested in, you can get more than 10 minutes conversation with them. You can actually get more than 10 minutes conversation with them because they're talking about something they're passionate about. They're sharing with you their experience that day. That's where you get them in whatever it is that they're interested in. So don't ignore what they're interested in. Don't say, oh, it's just a boys thing. I'm not really keen on it. Don't do that. Get interested with what they're interested in, and there you will get a lot of conversation going, and you will see yourself knowing more really about them, more about their reactions, more about the way they act. You will get yourself doing that. You have a 14-year-old, Joy says, and when he talks about his football, he lights up. Exactly, and he wants to tell me everything. Exactly, that's exactly how they are. Yes, exactly. Yep. All of us for some time. Exactly, Shola. Exactly. Shola is the same as well because her son is very much into football. Football chats for us all the time. Exactly. And then sometimes, even if you've heard it before, just stay interested. Stay interested in the game. Stay interested in what they're talking about. Just, and as Joyce said, they light up when they're talking about what they're passionate about. So stay interested in what your son is passionate about, and you will see your communication grow. You will see that bond, that relationship grow into more than you even thought it was actually possible. So stay interested in what they're interested in. Number 4 point I want to say is reduce the nagging. When they start, as soon as those boys start growing in their teen years, try and reduce the amount of nagging. Because to be honest, the more you complain as a parent to your sons, the more they withdraw from you. They would just like, okay, there she goes again. There he goes again. They would literally withdraw. It's very important that we get communication going. Yes, exactly. I'm very big on communication with the children, honestly, because it's massive. It's a big key. Whenever you see boys especially who start to act funny out there, who start to go off course, a lot of times the communication gap has increased. There's already a gap in the communication. And when there's that gap in the communication, that is when a lot of things happen. A lot of disasters, a lot of attitude problems, a lot of behavioral problems happen in that gap. So it's all about closing that gap. It's all about getting that gap as close and as tight as possible. It's so communication. I can't stop talking about that. It's so important for us as parents and our children. It's massively important. Okay, so in terms of nagging, the nagging is a big no-no. Yes, the more you nag, the more they withdraw from you. The more you nag is like, okay. And then the thing about nagging is that you might even be making sense in what you're saying, but because you just keep on shouting and making noise about it, they won't get it. Have a conversation with them. And to be honest, if you see yourself getting very worked up about it, don't talk at that moment. Don't speak at that moment. If you're very worked up about what you need to discuss with them, stay calm. Stay calm and wait for the right moment. Because at the end of the day, what everyone as parents, what are our dreams and our desires is that really, that when we talk to them, they get what we say. That's the whole point. But if you keep shouting and making they wouldn't even, it wouldn't even go into that ear. And I'm going to get to, there's another point I thought about as I just mentioned this. When you're talking, when you're nagging, they won't get it. Have a conversation with them. They're growing into men, so what they're expecting from you now is a conversation. They want you to understand that they're no longer little boys. They want you to start having a proper conversation with them. Sometimes it's going to be difficult because, yes, sometimes they're not going to do what you told them to do. But you have to have that conversation rather than nagging at them. Okay? I think Oludayo has just said that you need to press the reset button for that. Yes, please, as they're growing, we need to change it up. We're all guilty of it in one way or the other, but it's time about changing it. And the thing with our children is that when you're changing, they are changing with you. They can see the change. Isn't there a fine line between nagging and correcting? There is a very, very thin line between nagging and correcting. We can still correct them being conversational about it. And I'm going to give you a little tip about when you're correcting your teen boys especially. Our teen boys, our boys, they've gone to school. So a lot of times in school, they've been, I wouldn't say just necessarily told them, but they've been lectured. These lectures, they're teaching them stuff in school. So a lot of times when they come home, to be honest, that's really the last thing they really want to listen to. But of course, as parents, it's our responsibility. We've got to teach them stuff. We've got to remind them of those values that they're supposed to live and they're supposed to be. So what we do is have it as a conversation. You could even be cooking in the kitchen and just while you're turning your stuff, hey, yes, so what did you do? But next time, while you're still turning your food, because the thing is, when you call them, let me tell you a little secret with boys. When you call them and say, okay, I want to talk to you, come here, I want to talk to you. You already have, there's already a defense wall going on. A defense thing is like, what does she want? What does he want? So just have it as a conversation. You can leave it in the kitchen while you're cleaning up. It's like, so, but why don't you do it this way? If you do it this way, it will work out better. And you're still doing what you're doing while you're communicating to them. That is one of the best strategies, honestly, if you want to get a point across to your teenagers. Do what you're doing. You're tidying up. Just do what you're doing while you're conversing with them. And as I said, you have to choose the right moment. It's not just when you're upset about something, then you choose that moment to talk to them about it. To be honest, don't be surprised. The next day, they're going to repeat the same thing because they didn't really hear you. All they heard was shouting and nagging. They didn't really hear you. So have that conversation with them. Start to change things around. And to be honest, because you're beginning to treat them as the adults that they're becoming, even though they're still teens, they would... because you're beginning to do that, they will start to change. Yes, I must say, I'm going to definitely come to that, Joyce, because yes, some kids get defensive and start to argue with you because they've been taught to speak up. Yes, exactly. They are very different mentally. Best to avoid that. Exactly. And they will come at you, really. And then from there, the main issue that you were about to talk to them about will be lost because now you guys are now talking about their attitudes, the way they've spoken to you. Why did you speak to me that way? That was rude. That was this. And then the topic that you were really supposed to talk to them about goes out of the window. So very, very true. They're meant to speak up. And to be honest, I get into conversations with my sons like, okay, you know what? And then my son is being sometimes it can be so logical. But mom, if you said it this way, then did you not literally mean it that way? I'm like, please, you know what? I'm not, this is not about playing. This is not about logics right now. This is about, let's just have this talk and get it over with. But yes, you're going to have those conversations with them, especially ones that really, really talk. You're going to have those conversations with them. But the key is to keep the tempo down. The key is to make it very, very conversational and not confrontational. I think once we come at them, we are taking the risk. We're making them lose really what the point that it is that we're trying to make to them. So a lot of boys that you see today, it's really, really key in getting that conversation going. Does having a conversation throw out the ability to? No, it doesn't. Not at all. Not at all. Not at all. You can have the conversation and still discipline at the same time. Okay? You've done that. There are consequences to actions that you take. These are little examples. But you're speaking to them about it. You're conversing with them about it. Well, there are consequences. You're going to have to either go to bed on time, or you're going to have to give up your laptop for tonight or tomorrow. It's still that conversation. But when we're disciplining them, we don't have to shout to discipline them. They know when it's discipline, no matter what tone of voice that you've got on. But as they're growing, it's important that we step that down a bit. Step it down. Calm that down so that they get the point. They understand that, you know what? It's because I did this that mom or dad is saying this. It's because I did that. Because if you come at them in that shouting way, all they're thinking about, excuse me, all they're thinking about is the shouting. All they're thinking about is the nagging. They're not now thinking about that point, that very important point that you were making at that time. So it's so important that we definitely do this right. You know, when you know better, you do better. That's one of my my things. So yes, I think I've shared the things. They're growing, they're becoming men. So start to treat them better. Start to treat them like the boys or the men that they're becoming. Number 2, pay attention to the topic of interest. Always kind of take a note what they're interested in and do that more. That's where you get those conversations. Boys do not talk. Don't take it personal. If they don't talk for more than 5 minutes with you, do not take it personal. Just get on with it. Yes, they've had that 5-minute conversation with you. Enjoy it. Appreciate it. You can dance about it and just move on. But do not take it personal. When they come at you, sometimes you ask them a question, all you get is a no. Yes. All right. Okay. You get all those kind of things. Just come at them back. Just go back and forth to them in different little ways, but not in that. Okay. What did you do? What did you not do? If you come at them consistently, just so much like that, you will lose what it is that you're trying to get with them. So it's important that we keep it very conversational. That's key. Of course, there's sometimes if the boys now do something really, really wrong, you've got to really warn them against whatever it is that they've done. Of course, your voice is going to increase a little bit. Don't do that. You know, you gotta, you know. So I'm not saying that it's every time that your voice is just gonna be, oh please don't do that. Oh no, it's not that. That's not being realistic. You can still have a conversation and be stern about it. You can still have a conversation and put in the discipline with that, because you're the parent. You're not the friend, you are the parent. So it's important that we remember that as well. And because you're being conversational with them doesn't mean that you're taking your role as a parent away. I know many of us probably didn't grow up that way, where you had those conversations with your parents, but in this day and age, it's important that you do that as a parent to a child. If not, they go out there and they learn values from outside, and values that you can't even relate to is what you see them bringing in, and you're thinking, where did they get that from? Well, they got it from people that can listen to them. They got it from people that can talk to them in a more matured way. So you don't want to lose that. You don't want to lose your place is the key. As a parent, you do not want to lose your place. And one thing that I always tell parents, this is something that I do personally, is when we have a situation where maybe my hubby is telling my son off or something, I actually don't join in that telling off bit. I always stay aside, because what for me, and yes, I could support what my hubby might be telling them might be right. Yes, it could be right, or yes, it is right, but I would not join in that telling off moment at that point. What I would do is I will go back to my son later and say, you know what dad was saying was very true. What dad is trying to say is that you should do it this way, or if you don't do it this way, these are the consequences. So, because what you don't want to do is that if both of you start attacking or start telling off at that moment, then both of you are not that you become the enemies, but is that they won't even listen to your side of reasoning. So what I tend to do is I step back and then I explain what it is that the dad is trying to say to them, so that they can just get that perspective and not hold off and say, oh, they're being mean to me or they're being wicked to me. You've got to be very, very sensible like that. You've got to really, really do that. What does Joy say? I know someone whose son doesn't talk to her for 2 years now. Oh, wow, that's deep. Excuse me, that is deep. For 2 years, wow. That is deep. That is deep. Wow. Okay. Wow, wow, wow. That must be really heartbreaking for the mom. That must be really heartbreaking for the mom. I'll talk to you, Joyce. Yeah, I'll talk to you because yeah, I'll talk to you about that. Yeah, yeah. I'll talk to you about that because that can change. That can change. It will take a lot of changing from both the mom as well. But that can change. But yes, that is raising kids in this country. It's a very big, different ball game. Yep, totally different ball game. We need to learn how to deal with these kids so we don't lose them exactly. And because by the time they're 18, 19 and go to university, a lot of times I've even heard of kids who, because of the constant nagging and the constant stuff that goes on, when they get to university, that's it. You don't see them keeping in touch anymore. They just go and start living their own lives. And as parents, that's really heartbreaking for any parent. You want your child to keep that relationship. You want to keep that relationship with your child, with your son, as they grow up. You want to be involved in their lives later on when they get married. You want all that. So I'd rather make the changes that we need to make now, so that I keep that relationship going for the future. There's no point of being stubborn about changing right now, parents. There's no point of being stubborn about changing right now. Change right now so that that long-term relationship that you desire, that you deserve, really, you can still keep that. But if you don't change with if you don't change with them, when I say change, I'm not saying keep the rules, throw the rules away. No, we still need that discipline. They're representing you when they go out there, so you still need them to be disciplined. You still need them to have those values. You still need them to represent you in such a very in a very good way. That's what you want as a parent. So discipline, guiding them is still very much key, but it's doing it in a different way, in a growing way. They're growing, so grow with them as well. You try not to shout, T. Yes, those, and you do more explaining. Exactly, that's what you do. Do more explaining. Explain one day. You don't have to have a 20-minute explanation conversation with them. Explain bit by bit. Leave that till the next day. Come back again to it and just talk a little bit. They will get it. They will get it. But it's the approach that we use for them. But normally they would definitely get it. I'm going to be wrapping up very soon. Actually, no, I think we've made up all our points. Hold off all the lectures. Just have. It's all about that conversation, having those conversations, and asking them questions if they've got any questions that they want to ask you. Make sure that your communication, that you've got that open communication with them, especially for dads in regards to sons. Make sure that you have that communication. You have that open communication with your sons, because as much as sons love their moms, yes, sons love their moms. There's some certain questions that sons are not really going to ask their moms. They're going to ask their dads if they have that open relationship with their dads. But if they don't have that open relationship or open communication with their dads, then to be honest, they will go find the answers outside. So there's only so much that we can do as moms. But dads, you guys, you play a big role in this, and I'm sure we're going to be talking about that more and more as time goes on. But your boys, don't dread these teen years. These teen years, you can enjoy it, but you can only enjoy it when you get to understand them better and better. So thank you so much for joining me, everyone. I appreciate you guys. Oh, Joy says she loves today's content. Thank you so much. God bless you too. And T says, let them have the feeling that they can talk to you. Yes, exactly. Let them have that feeling they can talk to you. Your home is your sanctuary. Let it be somewhere where they feel free, that they can talk to you and chat to you without having being judged, without being criticized. And also watch what you call them. When you call your boys lazy, when you say words to them, they act up what you're saying. So be careful with the kind of words that you throw at them as well. Okay? And that's all I have for this evening. Thank you so much, Rachel. Thank you. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. So guys, go out with these nuggets, and parents need you. All the problems we face today. Yeah, especially in the modern day parenting. Yes, definitely. Thank you so much, Bukola. I really appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. I will be sharing the new group where we're going to be doing all these videos and talking more on parenting rather than just my personal page. I will share a group after the video where you can join, and then we can continue with conversations, and also it's a closed group, and also have other conversations. The group has been going, but I've just not been talking too much about it. But yes, we will do that. Okay, so from next week, I wanted us to do it today, but not a lot of people have joined it. So I thought, let's stick with this, and then transfer it over to the group sports. Supporting parents of tweens and teens is so, so important, that we support them. And because I work with teens, because I work with tweens as well, I know what they're talking about, and I know where you fit in to the picture. I know where you can help with them. I know where you can. I know that gap. I've got things covered in that gap. That gap between parents and the tweens and teens. I've got that all covered because I talk to tweens and teens on a daily basis. So I'm here for you guys, and we'll just keep on going. Let's enjoy these years. These years they fly by very quickly. I can tell you that. A lot of teens that I knew as little kids are now going into university in September. So they grow very, very fast. So let's not take these teen years for granted. Rather, let's understand them better, and let's go with the flow. Let's enjoy it. Don't dread it, honestly. Don't dread it, but enjoy it. Thank you so much. Love you guys too. God bless all of you, and I will talk to you very, very soon. Have a fantastic week. Remember, I am rooting for you all the way. And I'm not going to stop that either. God bless you guys. Love you loads. Mwah. See you later, guys. Bye. See you later.